Hello, hello. Hi,
Hi.
everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is about JHC and Friends, and Kathy Dold is my guest. Awesome. Happy New Year, everyone. This is the first episode of 2025 for JHC and Friends. So, Kathy, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to give you a quick intro, and I'm sure you're going to do a better job of telling your story. For those of you who don't know, Kathy is president and owner of TWK Travel Group. She became a flight attendant at age 21 with the goal to travel to lots of different destinations. And she was able to fly to over 20 countries and enjoyed talking to passengers about their vacation plans that she decided to start planning them herself. That led her to become a leisure luxury agent and help customers plan the trip of a lifetime. So you have to get to know Kathy right now and talk about her process because it is peak season, isn't it?
Yeah,
For y'all?
it is. As we call it, it's wave season. So everyone is calling us to book their travels for the year and even beyond. Just booked Africa for 2026 in May. So look forward to getting to know you all today on this show and answer any questions you have and learn a little bit about more what I do.
Absolutely. So tell me more about your background. So you traveled for so many years.
Mhm.
What was that like for you? Let me just tell you a little confession. I'm afraid of flying.
Oh,
Very
well, fly
opposite.
with me and you won't be afraid anymore. I promise you that.
Yeah, I just need to travel with people who are calm, and then it's like so much turbulence, and you're just smiling at me like, Julia,
Yeah.
you're fine.
So it's actually normal that people, when they look out onto the wings of an airplane and they see the wings flex, they get nervous because they're like, oh my gosh, the wing is going to break, but it's actually completely normal. You want that. It's like a bird, their wings, if their wings were stiff, they wouldn't fly. So it's very normal and you want that to happen, but it is a bit of like a point of anxiety for a lot of people because they don't, just makes them nervous. But fly with me. We'll do a group trip and you won't be nervous. I promise. I'll hold your hands. I'll do whatever you need.
I love it. And it's funny because I've listened to so many CEO interviews, and I hear them a lot saying that they are afraid of flying, but they have to travel for business. But okay, so going back to you starting your business,
Mhm.
you kind of did it one-offs at first, and then eventually you're like, I got to do this full time and run a business. So what was that like? At what point did you decide to do that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I've been in the industry for a very long time, really kind of diving into a lot of different areas of customer service. And I started a company called Quick Switch Collars. So I learned a lot about business, what is involved in business and all the things. But really, what inspired me to start my own agency was I had so many people calling me and they're like, how do you do this? Like, how do you get involved in being an agent? I want you to teach me. I see you everywhere. I love what you do. Can you teach me? And so after like the fourth or fifth person, I was like, maybe this is a calling of some sort, and maybe it's time. And so it was a scary leap, but it was a leap that I took, and it's definitely paying off. So now I have four agents under me, and what I want the agency to do is we all will specialize in different things. So we will have whatever trip or experience our clients want, we will have a specialist for that area. So that is what we are creating, and we're well on our way. Um,
So sorry. Of course, my internet decided to just fail me for a second. So, if you don't mind just repeating your answer, let's go back to what you were saying related to at what point when you decided, because I think my platform probably didn't catch that, and I apologize for that.
yeah,
Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
absolutely. So really, what how I started the agency was I was really inspired by all the people that wanted me to help them get into the industry. So they would call me, they would want me to mentor them. They're like, how do you do it? Like, how does it work? All those things. And so for me, it brought me joy to be able to help them and mentor them and say, is this really the right direction for you? And for a few of them it was, and for some it's not, and that's okay. And so, but the ones that are now under TWK Travel Group. And I think that what's important for the agency and how we started is we have very clear defined um, mission in terms of what we want for our clients, and that is we will have every agent that has a niche that will be qualified in a destination. So then when we have clients call for Africa or Antarctica or a luxury cruise or Disney or any of those things, we have the agent that will be able to help you with what that is. It's very, very important to have specialists because there's a lot of relationship building in that area that goes behind the scenes. So that's what we do. That's what I wanted for the agency. And we don't accept everyone. We only accept the ones that are willing to come on, work hard, and be there for our clients. So that's really how it all began. So it's pretty exciting.
So it's really like a white glove service for every customer. Um, what is the experience like when you onboard a customer? Do you have certain criteria? It's pretty clear on your website too, I would imagine, right? Let's go ahead and share that. Um, yeah, so do you want people to go through your website?
Yeah. So really, people can come to me, whatever's easiest for them. We have forms really everywhere for ease, to access. So you can reach out to me on my website. You can email me at Kathy@twktravelgroup.com. You can, believe it or not, I get texts all the time. Feel free, whatever's easiest for you. But the process is we send a form. We schedule a 30-minute complimentary consultation. And from there, we really kind of dig deep into what exactly you're looking for. The type of vacation you're looking for, the experience, how curated you want it to be, all sorts of things, because that 30 minutes is really going to help us, after that call, really bring it all together to then bring the perfect vacation for you. And once we do that too, it does come with usually 2 drafts or so, depending on how complex the trip is. So, for example, the Africa trip we did, that was it took probably three different scenarios to find the perfect trip for them. So that's what it entails, and it's very quick, easy, and efficient.
I love it. And I'm sure it's really complicated when you have to deal with groups. And so you have an efficient process to make sure that everyone is happy. Do you take a certain group size for that type of white glove service?
Yeah, so that's a really great question as well. So we really do specialize in groups. We do everything, but so many people reach out to us. They want to travel with their friends. We get a lot of senior groups. We get a lot of retiree groups, 50-year groups. So we have a system, a customer relationship management system that makes things very, very easy for our groups. We have a landing page. You go on, you see exactly what you want depending on the type of trip. And then you just, in terms of how you want to pay, everything is laid out and we make it very, very easy. And we also create group pages where if the group is traveling together as a group, if they all know one another, then we have pages where we can communicate within the group. To go over, what special things we want to bring along, what we're celebrating, how we want to do that, and all the behind the scenes things. If it's a group where people don't know each other, we typically still do that, but it's a little bit more. surface level, because some people don't want a lot of people to know their information or those sorts of things. So, but
Yeah.
we make it very, very easy.
It's almost easier when there's just like a middle person and then they just tell everyone what to do.
Yes, we do have what's called group leaders. So we have myself, and then we have a group leader, and that group leader really is the one that kind of handles everything, and it makes it very nice as well. And of course, for our group leaders, we have perks as well. Maybe they get a room for free that's comped or different things, because there
Ooh,
is some work involved in that as well. So yes.
that gives me motivation to be group leader.
Yes,
Yeah, so
absolutely.
it looks like you've done trips to Croatia, I see. I've heard multiple people, a handful of friends that took trips to Croatia, and I heard it's beautiful.
Yeah, so Croatia is really, I and people might not like me saying this, but I like it better than Greece. I feel like Croatia, the waters of Croatia are just crystal clear. Um, and really the way to do Croatia, in my opinion, is a private yacht. And people are like, oh my gosh, a private yacht. Like, there's no way I can afford a private yacht, but yes, you can. It's really not as unaffordable as you think it is. And so just bring, you know, 18 couples, 17 couples. We even have as small as 10 cabin yachts, but it sails all along the Dalmatian coast. And we can curate the different ports that we go to as well. Some are faster, some are shorter. And that's where the elevated and curated experiences come into place, where we really listen to what our clients want. Do they want to swim more? Do they want the big floats? Do they want the water toys? Or do they want to get on, the different ports and explore more and the history and all of that? So we provide all that for them. But yes, Croatia is definitely such a beautiful hidden gem, and I highly recommend visiting it.
That's awesome. I remember you mentioning, and by the way, because I usually try to give people a backstory of how we met. Obviously, we met through Jeremy at an event. So I'm so glad we met each other. I love meeting with other business owners. And one thing y'all mentioned is that you also go to yacht shows. You really are well versed in like providing the best experience you can for your clients. And you kind of vet these yachts. You go through and research them yourselves. And you probably have a great directory of options for all your clients.
Yeah, so that's I'm really glad you brought that up, because when we're talking about not only yachts but also the smaller luxury ships and even the river cruises, there's a lot of options for people. And so what we do, and really what elevates our service, is we go to different events and shows, and that's where we go and meet our suppliers. It's kind of like speed dating. There's one event that I've gone to where the suppliers are vetted and the agents are vetted. So it's not like you can just walk in, sign up, and go. You have to be vetted, and you have to be really accepted to go. And that's really where the matchmaking begins. And so whether it's yacht, whether it's river cruise, whether it's Africa, Italy, a big one is Iceland now. We find the right suppliers that we feel are the best fit for agency and supplier, because then that's going to bring the client the best experience. And that involves the different yachts. And do you want more rustic? Do you want more nautical? Do you want more bougie? A lot of people like different feels, and so there's something out there for everyone based on what you like.
And I'm glad you brought that up too, because it really segues into how I wanted to ask you this, is that what makes you really different from a lot of other travel agents? And you're not just a travel agent, you provide a luxurious experience. And so what sets that whole experience apart? And how can you tell, right? How do you find someone that's really qualified? And I know there's other credentials I didn't even mention, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So after you explain a little bit more about how you're very unique.
Yeah, so what I say is the luxury experience, we create more of an elevated, curated experience. There's lots of different places you can book travel, but why do you use an elevated travel agency? Well, for the reason that I just spoke before, is we have found the right partners for the different parts of the country that we're exploring, and we know the differences in that. So that's really the elevated experience. But taking it a step further, we have different partnerships that we've created. So we have design capsules, wardrobe capsules. I'm working with some different partners where you don't know what to wear, or you're going to Africa and you can only pack 35 pounds. How do you do that? Well, we have the help of different partners that we can bring in. So that's more of the elevated experience, having different partners that can bring in. We also provide, we want to relax. And once we get there, on our trip, we've spent so much time, planning, preparing, but something that I feel pretty strongly about is when you get home, allowing my clients to go to the spa or the steam room, because people are like, oh my gosh, the vacation's over and I'm so tired and the travel day. No, it's not. Here you go. So it's definitely the partnerships we create and the elevated experience to make it just perfect from start to end.
I love it. And then you also, so it's almost like a recovery period after the vacation. So the vacation from the vacation kind of thing.
Yes.
Um, and so
Yes.
the other thing too that was unique that you mentioned was that you advocate for your clients too. So can you talk a little bit more about what you do for that, as far as, some additional services that most travel agents don't even provide?
Yeah, so that's actually, I'm really glad you brought that up. So one of the agents that we have with TWK is an air concierge. That to us is so important, because a lot of times when you book air, you're really up to the airline's mercy if there's a cancellation or delay and you're going to misconnect. And even living in Tallahassee, where a lot of our clients live, you're dealing with double connections and those sorts of things. So our air concierge, she monitors the flights. She If there's a time where you might miss a connection, she will actually protect you from that. So you're not having to stand in the long lines, call the United, call the Delta. She takes care of all that for you. So that is definitely a huge elevated service that we have here at TWK. And another thing is the suppliers that we use, and even myself, we have 24-hour uh, service where you can contact us at any point in time if you have any questions. If you have a train booked at 3 o'clock and you're like, I don't want to leave at 3, I want to leave at 5, we'll take care of that for you. So it's all the fine details, all the little touches when you're on vacation, before, during, and after. We don't want you to have to worry about a thing. We are here to take care of it all. So the avocation is really, really important, because we're not perfect. People do make mistakes. When it comes to suppliers, we're all human, and that's okay. We make it right.
Yeah, there's always something that'll go wrong. I mean, it's hard to control everything, but I know your priority is the customer, so you'll do the best to make their lives a lot easier and feel like they're full vacation mode, as I'd like to say. So you
Yes.
also sit on the board of Cruise World, along with being an ambassador of Visit Florida and Fort Lauderdale. That's so awesome, and so you're busy. So
Yeah.
I would imagine at peak season, you're getting booked up. People are probably starting to contact you. So can you kind of give us an idea of like the best time and deals are really in the beginning of the year, aren't they?
Well, actually, no. There's there are deals actually, 365 days a year. There are deals. Um, I really don't like to use the word deal, because I know that people they always want what's the new deal. Well, it really depends on that. It goes back to the 30-minute consultation call, and we find that deal for you. What is the best product? Who's the best supplier? What does your budget look like? I don't go off of just deals, because there's deals every day.
Good
So
to
so
know.
that is something that is, I think, really important to bring up, because deals are very heavily marketed, but it's not always the best price or the best product for you. So that's very important to think about. But we really drive off of what your budget is, how much, and if you want to do a $20,000 river cruise, I know that sounds a lot. Well, we can do it in 2 years and then we figure out how to save for it. So I think there's nothing is out of the possibility of doing anything you want to do. And people are booking more travel now than ever. We're the busiest now than ever because people want to get out, they want to travel, and they want to experience. So in terms of the deals, that's what I would say on that. In terms of Cruise World, it's been fantastic. Cruise World is it's cool. You think it's just all about cruises, but it's not. It's about everyone, suppliers from land to ocean to all the things, insurance. Um, and so basically, we just kind of help make the experience better. We make sure the suppliers that are coming are really putting out the right information for us, the new agents, the middle range agents, and then the experienced agents. And now we're gearing more towards the luxury agents. So there's different tiers. So it's been great to be on Cruise World to help guide the show, the event, and to help other agents thrive, while they're there. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And I do have some pictures of you. Let's make sure we share them. Oh, right
Oh,
here. You're
yes.
also,
Sledge Day.
yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You had talked about some legislation as well. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
The
So,
latest on that?
gosh, this was such a special event for me. It's every year in November, and we go to Washington, D.C. So I am on the board um, for North Florida ASTA. So there's different chapters all across the United States. So what I'm in charge of is advocacy, and advocacy is raising funds to go towards our chapter, but also ASTA, which is American Association of Travel Advisors. So really what that means is when we go every year on Capitol Hill, we go and meet with our commissioners and all the people to basically talk about the top issues that we're trying, like bills we're trying to pass. So the two bills that we tried to pass this year were airline refunds, which is when a client books a trip to a big airline or through a group through a travel agency, that if there's something that goes wrong, that they're required to refund you that money within 7 days. So that was not on um, it wasn't like a something that they were forced to do. So we went in and we talked to all of our congressmen with that bill, and we got it passed. So super excited about that. It was something we weren't expecting because of the election, but we went in, they listened, they heard us, and they made it happen. So that was pretty exciting for our clients, because if something happens, they deserve their money back and not be, not be held by the big box airline. So very exciting. And then the second one, which passed, was advocacy, just raising money for us to be able to go out and find more things that we feel are top of the list to go advocate for our clients. So
Wow, doing more for clients beyond, for sure, and behind the scenes. That's so awesome. And I want to make sure that I share some of these beautiful photos that you have. Look at this, the trips to Croatia, Monaco. Hello, everyone, Monaco. There's the yacht club, obviously. And you have some team members too helping you behind the scenes. It must be a lot of fun to work on the projects and client work that you guys have.
yeah,
Do you
so we
do you take
do have
trips
a pretty
yourself?
solid team. So I do take trips myself. There are some trips that I take. In fact, this Monaco picture that you see, I was on Windstar. So Experience Windstar, they have what's called a winter Mediterranean cruise. And the cool thing about the luxury Windstar cruises, and there's a few of them out there, is they're right into port. You pull right into port, just like the yachts do. And it makes it super easy to go and explore. You don't have to worry about tenders. And if you don't know what a tender means, it's when you can't get up to the port, you have to take a smaller boat to get you to and from shore. It's fine, but it's not ideal. It takes time away from just the luxury, in and out of the ship. So, if we can avoid tenders, we do. So yeah, so this was Monaco, and we one of the ports was Nice, and Monaco's right next door, so that was fabulous. Um, so we do travel in larger groups if they need a trip leader. We'll go. So I am leading the Africa trip. We're going to make sure that everyone is happy. It was a big trip. It's actually 14 days, and we're going to Kenya and Uganda, and we're going to go see the gorillas. We're going to visit Giraffe Manor. It's 5-star all the way. So those are trips where I am present because I'm with the suppliers, and I'm the one that makes sure really kind of the behind the scenes runs smoothly for them. So but if you have a smaller group and you have a trip leader, then that trip leader can go and can go for free. um, and going for free does require, I will say, the bottom note, certain amount of cabins or rooms secured. But if you do that, then yeah, the trip leader, I will then be behind the scenes here at home and then be discussing with the trip leader, and then they can make sure that everything is run the way that it's supposed to run in wherever city or country they're in.
That's awesome. Do you also provide recommendations on places to eat or anything like that? And then do you sometimes also coordinate with those, I guess, your top providers and suppliers on doing any kind of private food catering events? I'm just curious. Just I'm thinking luxury.
Yeah. So that's absolutely the elevated experience in terms of what they're looking for and the purpose of the trip. So I had a trip where someone wanted to go to Italy and they wanted to ride horses from winery to winery. So we put that together for them and made it happen. So that would be something that's more curated, and hand put together. So in terms of the lists or so for them it was, what wines do you like? Let's make sure, we find the right wineries, and we have everything set up from the boards to the olives to the type of wines, the breads, the vineyards, and so forth. So we do put all that together, and we also have a wonderful itinerary system where everyone has everything at their fingertips, and we put all that information there in advance, from your packing list to if you've done the capsule, all that information is in there. What to pack, your packing cubes, and then the restaurants. Of course, we have. If you're doing Italy and you're in, Sorrento, we'll talk about the different restaurants, make reservations for you. In fact, I did a Bora Bora honeymoon, and there was this couple that runs a restaurant out of their house, and they only have 6 tables. So I was able to get my clients in there. It took about a year. A lot of people don't know it. It's a hidden gem, family run. So those are the types of things, but they do need uh, some of them sometime a good year in advance to make sure that happens. But that would be one
Ooh.
scenario to point out.
I love that. Now that is what it is like, really pretty much is, the places that nobody knows about. It's
Yeah.
also providing access to that and knowing like, okay, you can't get that until a year out. So just so you know, you got to plan this like a year to 2 years. So people are
Yes.
contacting you for those kinds of trips. I would imagine.
Mhm.
I love how you can also provide a financial plan and make sure that people prepare for that. So really, people need to start contacting you now,
Yeah,
right?
and people need to contact me now. Anything you need, don't wait. I think that's the biggest mistake people make is they wait and then they don't like the price tag that's attached to what they're seeing, or they don't have the room category that they want. Cruises are number one bookable item right now, whether it's ocean, river, yacht. So number one bookable item, if you can imagine, prices are getting they start at the least expensive, they go up, and if you wait, you're just going to pay more. So just plan ahead. We're here to help you with whatever steps, wherever you want to go, and look forward to hearing from you.
Is there anything, I know we're going to wrap up soon. Is there anything that you, as far as like budget range, do you have certain ranges that you feel like ideal clients, and I'm guessing you get plenty of word of mouth, right? Your clients are super happy. You get repeat customers, I would imagine. But what would you say that if people were to contact you so that they know that they fit within those parameters, what would you say would be a great budget range?
So that's a really hard question. I don't want to attach a budget to anyone's
Yeah,
anyone's travel needs. But I would say, if you're looking for the elevated luxury experience and you're looking for something that is gonna just knock it out of the park, you're looking at, $15,000 to $20,000. But that would be more, the 5-star Giraffe Manor experiences. But a really nice celebrity cruise, which I love. It's relaxed luxury. It's perfect. We're actually doing a celebrity cruise in 2 weeks with my partner. So very excited about that. My agent's coming along. And that was just $1,000. So there are many, many luxury products that you can do very affordable. You just have to plan it and give yourself enough time. Last minute's not going to work. If you want last minute, you're going to pay last minute. So
I love that. I mean, I love that you're able to provide that experience even just at 1,000. So like, some great options for people, because I think people have this concept, oh, luxury is like, 5 or 10K and above. Like that's where you can get.
mhm.
But I'm glad you know the best options and when. So let
And
me make
we
sure.
also, really
Yeah,
quickly too, we have group rates as well, and that is huge. And group rates, we can pull group rates for our clients. So then we have, however many rooms we need at that price, and it's a set price. Or we have the group rate at that set price, but there's only so many that we can pull. Because there's only so many rooms available. So I will say there's amazing group rates out there as well, for a lot of different things. But that is limited space available based on what cruise, where you want to go. So make sure if you're interested in that, reach out and you'll always get a better price.
I'm gonna have to have an appointment with you. I'm serious. Like my
Yes.
husband and I are horrible planners, and we're horrible vacationers, and we've been talking about taking a cruise with the family at some point. So we definitely need to have a follow-up appointment,
Yes.
and
Absolutely.
I just obviously would fully trust in whatever you tell us to do. I'm like, just tell me what to pay and just do it for me.
I like people like
Uh,
you. Just tell me what and I'll pay it.
yeah. And then the other thing, okay, because I know you have some upcoming things. Would you love to share like some things that you like to promote that are coming down I guess just in the spring that you like to highlight?
Yeah, so I am actually going to New Zealand in next month. And we'll be there for 2 weeks. So very excited about that. Going to be learning about the country and seeing all the different things. I get a lot of requests for New Zealand, so going to be visiting New Zealand in 2 weeks. Doing the celebrity cruise here on the 17th. And then beyond, lots of different things I'm working on. I'm working with some different partnerships. The Able Trust is one of them. I won't go too much into detail, but basically it's a group in Tallahassee, but they also service Florida. And it's to help kids that are on the spectrum and that have disabilities. So I'm going to be going in and mentoring them and basically helping them find work. So that is something that I'm really excited about. My oldest has Asperger's, and these kids are very capable, and we're here and ready to get them to work and teach them those skills. So working with them, that's one partnership that we just started. Also Christine with the Wardrobe Capsule, and a few other, Anna, she's my YouTube star. So just lots of great things ahead. Very excited. And I will be putting more on my website, on my blog, all the things to keep you all updated on all the great things.
Yeah, so you guys better check out her website, get to know more about Kathy, and then follow her on all her socials. Obviously, you could see how friendly and approachable she is, and I'm sure she'd be happy to take any call and schedule a 30-minute session. Thank you so much, Kathy, for being on my show, my little humble show. And it looks like we have several watching during our live. Y'all are welcome to comment. So if you have any follow-up questions, please email her. And I did share, okay, yes, I shared your website and your email. We'll go ahead and wrap up here. And if you sit tight, Kathy, I'll hop on the backstage with you. You guys, see you guys next time. We're over 100 episodes. So thank you so much for all my guests and all of you guys who catch our episodes. So see you guys later.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Julia. Bye.
Thank you.